Welcome to the Prospectors Radio Show, the talk show for our community. Please welcome Rich Cooley, Indiana Goldhunter Dennis Dayton, Kathleen Biffle, and your host, Tim Grimes.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another edition of Prospector Radio. I'm your host, Tim Grimes, and I got a couple of my co-hosts here tonight. First off, we got Mr. Rich Cooley. How are you, Rich?
Pretty good. How's everyone tonight?
Doing good. How's your week been?
Oh, pretty good. Got to get ready for next week, so trying to get ready to get packed. And
right, you're going on your hog hunt.
I'm going on my hog hunt to Texas, yep. And hopefully everything will still work out. We're going to leave out Saturday morning, I hope. So I might not be here next week. Okay. I might still call in, depending if I have a signal down there.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But as for tonight, you have Cooley's Corner tonight, don't you?
Yep. And I'm going to have Ken, the mountain man, on as a guest, and we're going to talk a little bit about the crash boxes and flares.
Oh, cool. Just going to cover a bunch of them, or?
Well, you can't really find too much information on, so I had to rely on some of the forums to get some of the information. Mm-hmm. And I did find one or two other sites that talked a little bit about it.
Okay.
So that's kind of what I want Ken on for the experience. Oh, because he used the two different types, and he's built them. So,
right. All right.
So we'd have him on and talk a little bit about it also.
Yeah, and it's been a while since you had Ken on to assist you, so that'll be cool. We look forward to that. Always good when you two team up for a Cooley's Corner.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Just like old times, yep.
That's right. So, how's that weather been treating you down in Pennsylvania?
It's actually not too bad. It's in the 60s. It's going to get in the 40s and 50s, I think, all week. With maybe rain on Wednesday and Thursday, but
now,
I think it's going to be 70s down in Texas, so I can't wait for that.
Did you get blasted with that snow Friday?
Actually, we did, but while we were sleeping, when we woke up, it was gone.
Oh.
And there wasn't anything on the ground, really. I did have a piece of tin fly off the side of the roof at my eave, so I had to put it back on there Saturday morning. But
well, you dodged.
Wasn't it a nor'easter? Is that what blew in?
I
think
believe
so. How bad did I know we got it pretty good. I don't know if Kathleen did. I woke up to 4 inches.
We had about 60-mile-an-hour winds.
No,
it was really windy, yeah.
No, we got blasted with the snow. It was awful.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Our house sits right at the corner, so everything just comes right around the corner and hits the side of the house or the front of the house. Man. So, when it snows or rains, it all lays on my driveway. The neighbors in front of me or beside me, they're good. Everything's laying in my driveway.
Just comes and lands.
And when everything blows, it blows in my driveway or my yard.
You're the catch-all.
Yeah, all kinds of welcome home flags and mats and all kinds of chairs off of porches and all kinds of stuff.
All kinds of goodies just for you.
You can tell after every windstorm, I have them sitting out by my mailbox. Then people drive up and stop and pick them up.
Yeah, they can come around and collect what's theirs.
Yeah.
That's awful nice of you.
Yeah, it happens every time.
Wow.
That's so weird. It's like you have a vortex going on.
Yep.
It's like a black hole.
Yeah, I'll be out blowing snow and everybody be looking at me laughing. It's like, where's it at? Yeah, it's on my driveway.
Wow. That is kind of strange, Rich.
Yeah. I have 2 or 3 inches and everybody else don't have nothing in theirs.
That is weird.
It's weird.
That is strange. Well, man, good luck on the hog hunt next week. Have fun.
Thank you. I hope to get something anyway,
Give us a call if
you
can. Even if you just call in, let us know how your trip's going.
Yep. No, it's going to be like a 19-hour drive. We're leaving Saturday morning, so I probably won't get there till Sunday evening sometime, so it depends.
Yeah, you might not want to get on the phone.
Yeah, we'll see.
Like I said, if anything else, call us Wednesday and let us know if you stacked them up yet and stuff like that. So
we'll see what happens.
All right, brother. Cool. Well, we're glad you made it tonight, and we look forward to some Cooley's Corner here in a little bit.
All righty. Thanks for having me.
Oh, anytime. Also joining us, we got Miss Kathleen Biffle. How are you, Kathleen?
Doing great.
Great.
Everybody got this really nice warm weather, but it only got to 40 degrees here in Ohio.
It looked better than that, though, didn't it?
The sun was out,
Yes.
though, so I was still outside.
Yes.
You know?
But it wasn't warm.
No. It was very misleading.
You look out the window and it's like, oh, it's a beautiful day. It's got to be 50 degrees out.
Okay, don't you think it's weird how Indiana gets 60-degree weather, and then you've got Pennsylvania on the other side getting nice weather? Why Ohio?
Because we're Ohio.
Why do I live here?
Why, Ohio, do we get this crappy weather? Right, why do we live here?
But, you know, it was fine. We did some work outside. We figure let's use these weekends that we can't go out to get stuff done. So,
Right.
Because pretty soon it's going to be almost every weekend.
Mm-hmm. Right. It's what, next weekend our clocks go ahead, right? We spring
Yeah,
ahead
I
next
think
weekend.
so.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's always it's coming, Kathleen.
Yes, I know.
I mean, we're borderline. We should be able to put the snow brushes away and put the shovels away and all that.
Just having the sunshine, that right there is enough.
Oh, it makes a big difference. The sunshine is an awesome thing. I still want to wake up to no more snow. It's like,
Well, yeah. Well, all the reservoirs are really full here,
Mhm.
and they've got some interstates closed due to the flooding.
Right. Because what
So-
was it? Thursday, we got all that bad rain. It just rained.
Yeah.
I mean, we got really dumped on. So that.
And and we were just getting over the other one.
Mm-hmm. So I'm sure that got everything super flooded. But I did see some pictures of the Swank today, and it looked not too bad. I figured it'd
really?
be worse.
Getting better.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So a couple weeks.
Yep.
Maybe after.
Maybe next weekend.
Maybe
I don't
you
know.
don't. Right. But I did see crazy, stupid weather again for us this week. It's like, really? It was like snow Wednesday,
Oh yeah.
and then 30s, 40s, 30s. It's like, really? Come on. You know?
I know.
Tomorrow's supposed to, or 42 tomorrow and sunny, so that'll be kind of nice for us. And then back to crap.
Yep.
Just in time for the weekend.
Yeah, just in time for the weekend. Welcome to Ohio. Back to crap.
But
Mhm.
we took advantage of it, and our dogs are just so filthy from all the rain and all the mud.
Oh, God.
So
yeah.
it was bath day
For 5 dogs.
for 5 big German shepherds.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I bet you that was interesting.
Yeah, I got soaked.
Yeah, we were drenched. Hair all over us.
Oh, that's a job.
Bedroom still smells like wet dog in there because that's where we
I
had
was going to say, you probably couldn't do it outside either, so
Yeah.
you had to do it
No.
during
outside.
summer. We do it outside. But
It was just getting unbearable with all the mud that they were rolling in.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. It's. About how long that take you to bath 5 dogs, Kathleen?
About an hour.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do they cooperate or do they
Rotation.
fight it?
I'm just really sore for some reason.
Probably from.
I'm
Fighting
out of
with the-
shape. Where I'm getting sore giving the dog a bath.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, you better get back into the creek. You know?
Yeah. I hope I fit my wetsuit.
suck it in.
I'm afraid.
Oh, no. You didn't
Maybe
put
we'll do
on
a
that
video,
much.
how to
weight.
get back in your wetsuit after
There
not
you go.
exercising all winter.
Oh, there you go. This is a good topic some night.
I don't know. That might be embarrassing.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. Once you get back out there, and it'll be good, Kathleen.
Yeah.
You get out there throwing rocks again, not eating, spending all day in the creek,
Yes.
back to your fighting weight in no time.
I hope so.
Right? It's all good. It's a new
Yeah,
program.
my one day a week going spinning, if that isn't going to do it for me.
Yeah, it'll be good. Let's say 2 weeks you'll be back in.
Well, yeah, we're talking about this weekend,
Okay.
because it should be warm enough to at least camp.
Yeah.
And if it's flooded or it's too cold, we may just do like good old fashioned sluicing.
Oh, there you go. Go back to the basics, huh?
Yeah, I mean that's what I did when I fell in love with this.
There
so
you go. So there, sometimes that's kind of cool to do.
Just to be quiet out in the creek and
yeah, and just enjoy it.
get my workout in.
And just being outside where you like being and camping and by a fire, and I think it'll help you a lot.
Yeah.
Really get your mind clear, right?
Oh yeah.
Heck yeah. So I hope you get to go. I really do. Yeah.
Well, if we're in your neck of the woods, we'll let you know.
Give us a holler. We'll stop down and see you. You know? Heck yeah. Sure will. Sounds like a winner. Well, Captain.
Well, how about you? Did you get any cool things done today?
No, I
sunshine?
I did. Well, I washed my car. Yeah, but
How to guess?
I couldn't stand it no more.
I bet.
And then did taxes. So I had a fun, enjoyable weekend.
Oh, I got to do that too.
I still got to do mine. I just did hers and our son's, but that's like
Shad did ours.
I hate tax time. It's depressing. Dang it. So that was my fun, enjoyable weekend.
Well, that sounds like fun.
Yours sounds funner. Like I said, I'd rather wash dogs than do taxes. You know? Anytime. I'd rather wash cats than do taxes. And that's a challenge.
Yeah.
Mercy. But I'm glad
That's
you
funny.
made it. And I'm glad you had a good weekend. Everything's going good. And you're
Yeah,
gonna get out.
it was a good weekend. We got a lot done. Went up to the apartment, did some work up
good.
there yesterday.
Good.
New floors in the bathroom, new toilet. Ooh. That is not a fun job.
Excuse me. No, it's not.
Yeah, you just do it?
You just what?
Didn't you just replace the toilet?
Oh, yeah. Yep. Last month. Mm-hmm. Fun. Always fun changing toilets. I just
But
changed.
think of it this way. It's done.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You don't have to deal with it anymore. And then your weekends are free.
Yeah, but I just changed one the other day at work, too.
Very true.
Put in a big super duper toilet with the big air assist tank, and it's like,
Oh my goodness.
it's a power machine is what it is. I like them toilets. If you can like putting a toilet in, I guess I like that one.
Okay.
Yeah, if there is such a thing. The fun never ends, I'm telling you.
I know.
Well, Kathleen, thank you for being here as always, and we look forward to hearing from you again here shortly. All right, and last but not least, we have somebody filling in for Mr. Indiana Goldhunter tonight. We have our very own Mr. Shad Biffle filling in for Dennis Dayton. How are you there,
So I
Shadley?
get the nickname because
Yep.
Dennis is
Yeah.
Yep, you get the
soaking
nickname.
up the overtime, man. He's
I wish
killing
I
it.
could get overtime.
Yeah, right?
I don't blame him.
Mhm. But he's peeking in there. I see him.
Yeah.
I work overtime, but I don't get paid for it.
Oh, right. Dennis is getting
It sucks.
overtime. Overtime, Dennis. So how are you tonight, Shad?
I'm doing well. Yeah.
You
Heard some good news this week, so I'm excited.
really?
Yeah, our good friends that we've had them frequently on the show, Josh and Jesse Feldman,
Mm-hmm.
the Feldman brothers. Their new series, Lost Gold, was greenlit by the Travel Channel.
Oh, sweetness.
That's exciting because I love treasure hunting. They have a huge passion for it.
Mhm.
And the pilot episode they did, it was really interesting just to see how they go about it. And
Right.
Lost Gold was
Lost
what it's
Gold,
called.
yeah. And I guess it's going to be a total of 6 one-hour episodes.
Really?
Don't have the date yet, but later this year they'll air.
All right, cool.
Okay, cool.
That is
So yeah, that's cool.
that's some good
Good
news.
for them. I know they were hoping for it.
Oh, yeah. And it's good news for us, so we can watch it.
Yeah.
That is sweet. That's some good news. Anything else?
Well, of course, coming up in just to give everybody another heads up, our the March? Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank on the date.
The 25th, isn't it?
Yes, the 25th. We have the Kellys, the Fighting Kellys from Bering Sea Gold. We've never had them on the air.
Nope.
So that'll be a cool episode because I guess there's a lot more about that family and those two brothers of what they do than what they're portrayed on the show.
Right.
I would love, that'll be fun.
I've read a lot on like their Facebook pages and other stuff, and they're very involved, and it's not really like what the show portrays. So I think it'll be cool to kind of talk and get to know them better, as well as
about normal stuff. Yeah.
Yes, about them actually mining and other things than the drama from the show. So that's cool. I'm excited about that show.
That'll be a fun show.
So definitely share, invite people in.
Mm-hmm.
What a good turnout for that.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. I'm with you, Shad. There's a lot of things, a lot of questions I've already got lined up. I'm sure you guys do too. It's like, and more about them than, like the TV show. But,
right.
because we all know what happens on TV show. We all watch it. So I always like to find out more about them, So it's just cool. It's going to be fun. So that one will be a great show. 25th of March. Mm-hmm. Very cool. So did you have fun bathing the dog, Shad?
Oh, my God. Well, the biggest dog, Morton, our big black German Shepherd, he actually willingly jumped into the tub and stood there. He did the best.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he hates the bath, but he'll get in there.
He'll do it,
and he's perfect. Now, the others, a little bit of a challenge. Pretty much ends up they're on top of me on the floor because I'm trying to dry them off, and I'm just drenched.
Or when they drop down and on all fours, and their stomach hits the ground, and you can't move them.
Yeah, I had to pick them up, and man, our one dog, Mona, she's a very heavy, dense little girl.
Fat Mona.
Yeah, fat Momo.
and no matter how much you dry them, they still have to shake.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And
everywhere. Yeah, you can't stop it. But no, it's good to get a lot of this odd and end stuff, but we've also been trying to sit back and think, okay, what are some things that we would like to get now for this year, for this mining season, that would be like good little odd and ends to have, whether it's for, camping, or actually with our dredges or other equipment, what are some good extras, accessories, if you will,
right?
To maybe look at getting. So we're starting to make a list, trying to see, obviously, for our camper, we want a bigger propane tank than the little 20-gallon.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
But, other things, like with the dredges, one thing, I always have tools with me with my dredge.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to come up with different ideas rather than just having a little basket or a bag with some of the tools in there, or just throwing them in the dredge compartment.
Right. Got to be something better than that, though, right?
So yeah, I'm trying to come up with some different ideas to get ready. Plus, we are going to my dredge. I already have the compressor. We were talking about it before the show.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. We're looking at getting the rest of the stuff we need for air.
Right.
To start using that a little bit.
Heck yeah. Might
as well. Just try and take advantage before we go out now that we're cleaning up our gear.
Sure.
What are some housekeeping things and different things just to get together.
That's cool. So, now, did you guys do any more work to your dressing up your dredge thing? Or
not yet.
Okay.
We have some things coming that we're going to use.
Okay.
Phase 2.
Phase 2.
That's right. You mentioned that.
Probably this time next Sunday.
Uh-oh.
We should be almost there, if not there.
Coolness.
The final product.
Weather permitting.
Weather permitting, of course.
Okay.
It does look a little weird weather coming through.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So, yeah, that
is cool.
That's where we're at. So, yeah,
Phase 2.
But it's cool. Like today, I moved her dredge, put it on the ground next to mine, because we were cleaning up the outside, obviously, because we're going to neglect the heck out of the outside.
Sure.
Going out.
Oh, yeah.
So, but yeah, it's coming together good, and they look nice and Granted, they're going to get banged up and chipped up and everything else, but it's all in good fun, and we hope more people participate in this. Plus, it's good to do a little maintenance on your equipment, too, and this kind of forces you to do that.
Yeah.
The bird does.
Yeah, it does. You're right.
While you got it apart, you might as well service everything.
Heck
Exactly.
yeah. So that's what, when time comes, you'll be ready. There's not going to be nothing you need to do. You're going to be like, let's go.
Yep.
We're done. Let's go dirty them up.
Yeah, they only need to look good for the first picture,
That's it.
like when you first put it in the water, fire it up, and then after that, who cares? Let's just beat the heck out of it.
Yeah.
And get some
And
gold.
then next year, change the color scheme on it
Yeah,
again if you want.
It's going to have battle scars,
That's
I guarantee
right.
it.
It's going to be pretty cool, though. They've, like I said, both of them look good so far, so they're really looking nice. I looked at mine today and said, dang, my dredge is ugly.
Did you put another sticker on it?
Not yet. But I was still looking and still thinking, I don't know if my one idea is going to work now that I looked at it more.
What's funny is I wasn't even thinking about this when I chose, to paint the floats black and the front silk gold and whatnot. Like, wow, I just did the colors of the show.
Yeah, that is, actually. You're right.
And I was looking at my crony sticker on the side of the sluice box there, the dredge box, and I was like, wow, it all really coordinates very well together. Kathleen's proud of me.
Yes, it does. Very good job. I like it. That's for sure. So, yeah, get mine going here. I got a little bit of time left. I did get one thing in that I ordered to make it happen, so it was only a little $2 item, but it was crucial.
And you're still keeping yours a secret.
Yeah, because I'm
kind of spilled the beans on ours.
Well, because I'm not 100% positive yet. See?
Okay.
Because I'm not sure if it's going to work, so I don't want to say nothing and it don't work. And
I get you.
That makes sense.
mean? So I'm just gonna see, and if it works, then I'll say, okay, here you guys, this is what I did, and either it's a success or an epic fail.
Well, you need to do those straps.
Yes.
That I put on Kathleen's because, oh my gosh, like today when I went to pick it up, because now you could just grab onto the float and carry it. And I mean, that's it. Oh, just so much easier to handle.
That's it. And what kind of straps did you get, Shad?
What I used is 1/8 inch aluminum by 1 inch wide. I just kind of bent them around the floats.
Right.
And then of course, I drilled 2 holes in them because, you have the one outer part of the frame with the hole where they put the bungee through.
Right.
I just matched that up so that I could put, tighten some screws. Wing nuts on it actually is what I use.
Okay.
Make it easier to get off. And then on the other side, of course, they have the screw with the little metal ring.
Right.
And that's what you hook the bungee. I took that out and got just a little bit longer of a screw and nuts so that way it just clamped on. Now, the one thing I did before I clamped it all on was I took some, basically, I ended up just using the pipe insulation tubing.
Yeah.
That the kind I got though is the one that you can bury underground. It's all weather resistant, doesn't mold or mildew. And I put that and glued it underneath the frame for the top part that goes over the top of the floats.
Right. Okay.
So that way it gives a little cushion, but it also grips onto the float so they don't shift at all.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And they're in there so snug, and it looks good.
It looks sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't even tell that. Plus, that it looks like it always has been there. So
yeah, it looks perfect. I just looked at it. It's good.
Yep.
He's my hero.
Yeah,
I told him what I wanted, and he makes it happen.
He made that happen because I looked at the picture, I blew it up and stuff, and I seen. I was like, oh, that's the way I want to do it. Just a strap, a metal strap that comes around, bolts to it, boom, done, tight. And I like the idea of putting that foam on there to hold them floats. It's a little snugger. That'd be perfect. Thank you, Shad. I'm definitely rolling with that. Where'd you get the metal at? Home Depot or
Menards?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean you could. I'm sure Home Depot, Lowe's, they all have it. It's just their bar stock
Perfect.
aluminum they have on there, and I ended up I think I got two sections that were 4 feet in length, and I had some left over, and that was enough to do all 6.
Oh, perfect. There you go. Okay.
Yeah, it didn't cost too much. I think altogether I spent maybe $25.
That's well worth it.
Yeah.
To get
I don't know how many other different types of bungees we went through last year.
I did too.
tried
I
a
probably
lot.
spent like $50 in various
Yeah.
bungees,
Yep.
trying to make it better and stay.
Yep. Agreed.
I think we ended up with the ratchet straps.
Yeah, I did
did
too.
Camouflage ratchet strap just to get us through the rest of the season.
And it looked ugly.
Yeah.
And they still would pop out of that too. It's so frustrating.
It is. It's just I've never liked that design. Now it'll be right. I'm glad you did that, Shad.
I think they did it because it could truly fit on a backpack.
Yeah, it does. Right.
They do it so that you can take it apart and stuff. But I'm okay with that being attached. I guess everybody has their preference.
Well, even still, you could take them off if you needed and pull your float out.
Right. Yeah. And you don't have to worry about dragging it and the pontoons falling out on it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
and
another
I'll
thing.
take more pictures of it, close-up pictures here, and maybe later this week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
so
ideal.
people can see.
That is the way, and that's what I will be doing. It's without a doubt, because that's the way it should be. I don't want my floats sliding and bungee straps popping and catching and hanging up on everything. It's like, oh god, annoying.
You should. Someone said you should post close-up pictures
That's
of
what
it.
I just said.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, he will.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I will. Now, granted, I'm not a professional metal worker, but
Hey,
it looks still pretty clean, so I recommend it.
when I seen it look good, I'm happy. If I can
It
get
does the job.
if I can
You know,
get
and
them
people
results,
have their own spin that they do
right.
on their things, so
Mhm.
that's good.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can get that kind of result, I'm happy. I'll be happy with that. So awesome, Shad. Thank you, man. That's perfect. Hey, you want to do gold prices and birthdays?
Where's the song?
Oh, dang, Kathleen.
It's your birthday. Well, okay, I'll start with our current gold prices and precious metal prices. Gold ended up climbing up $6 by the end of Friday, close of Friday, to $1,322. So it looks like it's starting to trend up again after, a really volatile week early on last Monday and Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Silver moved back up 7 cents. So that's now at $16.49.
Climb on, silver.
Platinum is the only one, granted, spoiler alert on palladium, but platinum is the only one that dropped $3 to $965. So I'm not sure why that one actually went down.
Platinum?
Yeah.
I did a story on it on Wednesday, if you were paying attention. Jeez.
There
The
you go.
reason why it's going down.
That's right. Yeah, you did.
is
Yes, she did.
because Diesel getting hard
That's
hit.
right.
Uh-huh.
Take it. Well, I just got hit for that one.
Mhm.
Palladium, though, it actually broke even. Didn't move at all, so
Ugh.
$989.
Well, I guess even is better than a loss.
Yeah.
Right?
So yeah, I'm curious who knows how the markets. Everything's been really crazy, but I think gold's starting to climb up with all the new steel tariffs that were just passed, president. So maybe that's why gold's kind of going up now with just so much uncertainty of possible trade war with, steel imports and such.
Oh,
Anytime President Trump does anything,
yeah.
the
Gold prices go up.
Yeah.
gold prices go up.
Pretty
So we'll
much.
see how that plays out. But enough of that. Moving on to birthdays. Not sure if we have anybody listening, if it's your birthday. But we have Art Elliott, Brian Lurvey, Corey Hageman,
Hey.
Dax Dreddick, Daron Strophus, Edward, just Edward, plain Edward,
Okay.
Edward Walker, then Kim, another one, just Kim, Michael Owen, Michael Waller, Patty Lambert, Peter Kalanikos, sorry if I mispronounced that one, and then Thomas Nelson. So then, of course, we have Alan Trotter and Benjamin Underwood tomorrow. And for anybody else, we'll have to figure out if we can get a little peek until through Wednesday. But happy birthday!
Happy birthday, everybody! It's your birthday.
Are you gonna do that thing? We're gonna get everybody's birthdays.
I just said if we could, I would.
It's your birthday. It's your birthday.
I gotta keep you on your toes.
Now
Chad.
He's not paying attention.
No, I'm just trying to keep you on your toes. That's all.
Yeah, so happy birthday to all those people.
Oh, yeah, also wish it Dennis Dayton birthday too, even though it's not his birthday. Just give him a good happy birthday shout out on his page.
Who, Dennis? Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Right, I agree. Why not? Happy birthday, Dennis. Don't forget, everybody. Share that on Facebook. Yeah, I think he's in the Spreaker chat room, actually, Shad.
Oh, he is?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, he's in there.
Yeah, he's reared his little head in the chat.
Obviously, he's hard at work.
Obviously.
Why is he in the regular chat room?
I don't know.
He's in
Maybe
both.
he
He's
is.
been bouncing back.
Oh, he is in the regular chat room, too. Yeah.
Oh,
He's in both chat rooms at the same time. He's multitasking tonight. And working at the same time.
Get to work, Dennis.
That's right. Get to work. Man, what the heck is wrong with you? All right. Shad, thank you, brother, for being here and for doing such a great job. And let's take a quick break, and we'll come back with some Cooley's Corner. Sound good?
Yep.
All right. We'll be right back, everybody.
Do you like to mine for gold? Enjoy prospecting a nice crack in the bedrock? Enjoy getting outdoors to camp, fish, hunt, and hike on your public lands? You plan your trip, load the gear, grab the dog, put the family in the truck, and drive off to a locked gate. A sign says you cannot enter or access your own public lands. Mining claims and public land owned by we the people are being designated as off limits by our own government every single day. Are you concerned about the direction our government is going? Are you tired of seeing no access, no entry signs on your lands? We are, and we are fighting back. We are AMRA, America Mining Rights Association, the fastest growing small mining advocacy association in America. AMRA is a 501c3 not-for-profit formed by miners, hunters, off-roaders, retired military men, and women to stop the insanity. AMRA was formed to educate, unite, and help the small miners and public land users on their rights given to us by God. Do you want access to great mining claims? For a small tax-deductible donation to their Miners Legal Fund, your family gains access to proven excellent mining claims across America for an entire year. AMRA challenges the USFS, BLM, EPA, and the other agencies intent upon stopping you from enjoying your own lands. You are who pays these people's wages. It is time they listen to us. We need to unite. And that is what AMRA is doing. As you sit here right now, thousands of acres of public lands are being closed, locked, and blocked from use by you. Are you fed up yet? Join us. Get in on this fight and let's restore America to what our families fought and died for. Freedom. Just visit AmericanMiningRights.com. AmericanMiningRights.com. Also, check us out on Facebook at American Mining Rights Association. AmericanMiningRights.com.
Just stopped by on my way home to show you all my gold.
You've been digging into some Jimbo's gold pay dirt.
Yeah, Jimbo's gold made me a hero.
Huh?
Got an amazing idea and supplies on sale from Jimbo's website. With bad weather, bored kids, and stressed wife, I threw a panning party for the kids and their friends. All the moms got a break, kids had a blast. Hero.
Happy kids, happy wife, great gold. That's why Jimbo's Gold is always my first choice.
Did you teach panning or share your prospecting knowledge? Then you are our hero. Tell us your story for a chance to receive a hero's reward at www.jimbosgold.com/hero.
Welcome to Cooley's Corner. Join Rich Cooley as he talks about equipment, new products, and so much more for all us prospectors and treasure hunters. Here's Rich.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Cooley's Corner. Tonight we're going to talk a little bit about flares and crash boxes. So I'm going to have a guest on going to be Ken the Mountain Man. He'll be joining us here in a little bit. And he actually posted something on the main page there on jet flares versus crash boxes, power jets versus suction nozzle. So if you want to look at those links while we're talking about it, you can do so. Some of the information, there really wasn't too much. I had to rely on some of the forums and some of the other stuff, but I'll cover that while I'm talking. All right, so we'll get started. Since the action in the jet is so violent due to the high pressure spray from the venturi, many dredges incorporate a means of calming the water down before it gets to the sluice. There's typically two different methods used to prepare your material introduced into the sluice, which is a flare or a crash box. Both methods help material water settle before it hits the sluice, and it's important to settle suspended material as quickly as possible. Gold will not have a chance to sink to the bottom if the water flow is too fast or violent. The water entering the sluice needs to be as calm as possible, but fast enough to move the material down the length of the sluice. Some people prefer a crash box style, while others prefer the flare. It's more of a personal preference, as both do the job. Even though I have a crash box, I like the flare a little better than the crash box because the material coming out of the hose seems to make a smoother transition into the sluice. The crash plate also clears a little bit better as water flow and consistently moves in the same direction towards the sluice. The material comes up the hose and into the crash box is typically slammed into a wall and drops down on the crash plate and is then pushed towards the sluice. Rocks can sit inside the crash box directly on top of your crash plate for hours if you don't check it frequently. But I prefer the flare because it requires less oversight during your operation, and it seems to move material more smoothly in the sluice. Like I said before, I didn't find much information, so I went to the forums and found this article. Jets versus suction nozzles was answered many times at demos with this company at an annual jamboree. At following camp in Azua that we worked every year. The same pump engine combo picking up a small bowling ball. Both nozzles were D-ringed as you can't get good suction with the relief ring offset that disallows a complete vacuum. With the tape measure, simply got closer and closer till we picked up, and we done it 5 times with each average purposes, and each time the power jet, both keen, was the winner. For extreme fine areas, the suction nozzle allows better recovery by less turbulent at a point of introduction into the box, and your hose length allows gold to settle at the bottom of the flow. So basically what they did was they took a setup with the jet flare, and then they took a setup with a regular suction nozzle that you hook the pressure hose to, and they did the test with the bowling ball, and they lifted it up in the air to see which one did better. Mm-hmm. And it basically says, just like the blast off of the test has precision pumps, closer to the tolerance always won for both suction and blow by the furthest distance. That was best fun testing for visitors, and when the 100 plus in the canyon and good dredging was greatly appreciated. We made flares to help compensate for the huge suction increase of the pressure chamber. So basically, they just did that drop test, you know. Right. So I asked Ken to come in tonight. Welcome, Ken. How you doing, buddy?
Hi, Rich. How everybody else?
Hello, Ken.
Hi, Ken.
Hey.
Pretty good. We're talking
Rich?
a little bit about the jet flares and the crash boxes. What can you give us?
What can I give you? Personal experience. You might want to add the suction nozzle versus the power jet. I prefer the power jet over the suction nozzle in both shallow water as well as deep water. Mm-hmm. And suction nozzles work pretty good up to, in my opinion, up to
3 inch.
3 inch or so. Okay, yeah. Nothing bigger than a 3 inch. Mm-hmm. For the simple fact, you actually can work in the shallow water with a nozzle. Nozzles have the tendency to be a little more forgiving than what your power jets are. Wherein the fact that if you lose the prime on the nozzle, your hose is still going to be full unless you plug it up full of material. Where with a power jet, if you plug that hose up any place in there and even into the power jet, you're going to gain what you call rooster tail. Mm-hmm. And you're going to be blowing water out through the top of your jet flare and out of the top of your sluice box. And believe you me, you can blow a lot of material out within 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's kind of why I like my crash box, because when I stick my nozzle out of the water, it doesn't shoot like the jets do, Right. Like Shad's, he can get somebody soaked standing in front of his if he wants to.
Hey now.
Hint.
In all honesty, I prefer just a regular power jet and the jet flare.
Now, is this statement true that I found? It says the basic rule of thumb is your line size divided by 5 equals the orifice size that's required. Is that true?
Pretty much.
Pretty much? Okay.
Pretty much. Because
that has to do with your orifice size of your suction nozzle. If you have a real small, there's a question. Would it be better to have a smaller orifice or a bigger orifice?
Depending on the size
of your pressure
of the nose of the nozzle, and the hose and whatever. I can give you an example. I have a single jet log 5-inch power jet. Mm-hmm. I also have a double 2-inch jet power jet that's a 5-inch. The double 5-inch is reduced down to about a 3/4 inch orifice in the end of the venturi.
Oh, wow.
The single jet is going straight through, and it's reduced down to about 1 inch. And it's like the smaller the orifice, up to a certain point, you will acquire a little more pressure for a little more depth or dredging. Mm-hmm. I actually can get down about 15 foot with the single 2-inch jet on the 5-inch. I can get down to about 50 foot with the double jet 2-inch.
Wow.
And I have no problem of lifting material that high, where the 2-inch versus the 1-inch, or the single jet versus the dual jet. The dual jet is what I use more so than anything, because I find that if I have to go deeper, I don't have to stop and change the jet out to a different jet to get deeper.
Okay.
And that pertains to how fast you want to run your pump and how much water you want to push through that. You can, and then you have to contend with the jet versus the crash box. Your water comes in and hits a rubber damper on both of them. And the rubber damper off of the jet flare will actually dampen and break up the turbulence of that water going through. Most of your jet flares, when your material comes out, it drops through either a piece of woven wire screen or a punch plate, which helps break up the turbulence. With the power jet, or with the jet flare, your material will spread out faster and more even across the box than it will if you're hitting into a crash box. Right. Because you're shooting, your material goes in and keeps coming down. It's just going up on a little ramp and coming down. And if you're pulling a full 5-inch diameter hose of material through there, you run the risk of getting big rocks in on top of your punch plate or your woven wire screen, and it can build up, it can plug up back in there. It's no fun to dig the crash box out. Where your jet flare, you're coming almost straight in, and your smaller material is going down through your classifier screen there. Your bigger material will go down. which can take you down to why a lot of people space their ripple sections out on about a 3 to 3.5 inch center. It's because most of your bigger rocks, when they hit the top of your ripples and they come off of that woven wire screen or that punch plate, your bigger rocks will just go right over the top of the ripples and knock down, which helps. You don't have to run the risk of building up a lot of material in the bottom of that crash box.
Right. I was always taught, Lou gave me a little thing, and she basically took a half decent sized rock, and while her sluice was running, from her dredge, she would actually throw a rock in there, and she would count how many times it would bounce before the end, and that's how she knew how her dredge was set up. And if it went off too fast, then of course she backed the water off a little bit, or if it just stayed, then she speed the water up. Do you suggest anything for that, or is it just you just got to learn yourself and see what it does? Actually,
the big thing with most dredges, Rich, it don't make any difference whether you're running a 2.5 inch dredge or a 6 inch dredge or a 10 inch dredge. The steeper the angle you have on that, the faster that water is going to go off, the more material you're going to move off.
Right.
So the faster that goes off, the less chance you have for your heavies to settle down in your box.
Okay.
And I usually take, and I very rarely, now like a lot of the old triple sluice dredges that Keene came out with, and a lot of the others, Proline came out with them in the earlier days, and the old precision dredge was that way, and the old American dredges were this way. And they were like talking 6-8 foot boxes on a lot of the old precisions and the Americans. Wow. And they would actually have an elevator bracket back, and they would raise the back end of that box up 3-4 inches. Well, when them boxes would start filling up with material in that, they would automatically just start dropping down lower in the water on the discharge end, which made that water go through there a lot faster, and it actually disrupted your the settling of the heavier material. So there's a lot of variables with this as to what works better for the individual. I'm real fond of the power jet and the jet flare, like I said. I prefer that, and I think that your lift has a lot to do with it. Whether you're trying to dredge something, I can tell you something that we tried here quite a few years back. But I was actually working some private ground that we obtained, and we were down about 16, 18 foot. We went down with a track hole into a gravel deposit. Well, when we got down there, so far down, we hit a bunch of decayed bedrock, and this stuff chipped off in anything from an 1/8 inch piece to about a 6 inch piece of bedrock. And we was just more or less experimenting with it, but we hooked up a big king size high banker that we built, and this high banker was 20 inches wide and about 6.5 foot long. And we set this up with a slider plate in there and so on and so forth. And we tried using a suction nozzle in this hole, and we used 2 motors and 2 pumps, one to run the suction nozzle and one to pump an excessive amount of water in there.
You try to blast the material up, right?
No, because you have to have as much water going into that nozzle as what you're pushing out.
Gotcha.
And if you don't have the same amount of water going in, pushing material, as you have going out, you'll play you won't raise it very high.
Okay.
And this is a point that was brought out here in a request for a topic here last week. But as to how it would work with using both the power jet and a suction nozzle, as was raised particular question, I don't know how his situation would work out. But I can say this much: if he builds what he's building, and he sets it up the way he is, he best have enough water to go through there, because if he plugs everything between the first nozzle and that power jet and that hose, and he hits a rooster tail, he can kiss all his gold bye-bye right out the end, out that sluice. And, not very many people have ever really tried and experimented with doing what he's pertaining to do. I'm not saying that what I'm saying is right or wrong, but on the assumption and the theory that if you use your prime on a power jet, or plug it up or something, whatever, it's going to blow material out in what we call a rooster tail. And that's just where you have a stream of water shooting straight out up. And it will raise the rubber damper on there probably 6-8 inches up out of that sluice box and shoot water all out. And all that abnormal water hitting into that sluice box makes that material dance and do weird, crazy things.
Interesting.
Yes.
It's I've tried a lot of different experiments over a lot of years, and it just, some things are feasible, some things aren't. But
excuse me.
And also, like, the size of the boxes, does that have anything to do with it also? You see a lot of people that try to do these really, really long boxes, and
you have to, Rich, you have to consider, if you've got a 10-foot box, and under the assumption you go on a 9-degree angle, you figure out how high that box has got to be on that end to get that. And if you take the consideration of 1 inch per 12 inches, by the time you get 12 foot, you got to have that back end up 12 inches higher than the water level, or wherever you're at.
That's kind of why I wanted to bring that up. Because you got to understand, if you want to put a long box on it, you got to have to compensate for that.
If you go with a real wide box, and let's say you go with a 30-inch box, and you're going to make that box 12 foot long. Number one, are you going to build a whole new crash box for that to substantiate it? Because the little bitty 6-inch box is only 22, 24 inches wide. It's not going to substantiate and work in that 30-inch box, even by tapering it down, because it'll work to a certain degree. But your material and water coming in from that crash box is not going to spread out and get your the heavies drop down and settle there. The steeper that angle, the faster that water's going to go off. The more material you're going to wash off. Like with beach sand, on a 30-inch box, say 12 foot long, and if you widen that header out, or even with a jet flare, you're still going to have to do it out.
But you're almost better off going with a crash box if you're going that long, because that'll give the material to drop and be able to level out instead of just shooting out with a regular flare, correct? Or am I wrong?
I tend to disagree with that, Rich.
Okay.
Because, see, when your material starts coming out of that jet flare, it's automatically dropping down through a punch plate.
Right.
And then you usually have a section there that you don't have any ripples or anything there for maybe 8 or 10 inches out from where that punch plate is, so that everything has to drop down there and spread out as it goes down.
Okay.
Where with your crash box, it's the same size going clear down all the way. And I'm not saying that it will actually work better under certain conditions than others. But just from experience, your material has a better chance of spreading out and doing a rapid exchange of separating the lighter material from the heavier with the jet flare rather than the header box.
Well, I was just wondering because most of the time when that material is coming out of that jet, it's coming out and it's actually hitting your black matting that's laying there first versus when it comes out of the crash box, it's hitting the top of the crash box and then falling down.
Yeah, because most crash boxes are built, which is basically, let me pitch it this way. You build a high banker, and I advocated you put a slider plate in there under the grizzly.
Correct.
Same principle as the crash box.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep, it's letting the material come to the back. As is the flare, basically it's just shooting the material out, which is hitting your black matting, is what I'm saying.
It's hitting your rubber damper there.
Yeah.
And that's breaking up a lot of turbulence in the water. Okay? And it's actually, if you come in, depending on how that jet flare is built, I experimented with a Keen jet flare at one time. I still have it. I'm not even fond of that. If you notice the ones that I'm using, the ones that I built, they have a flange on the end that bolts in to the box. The hole there is an oblong hole that's circled on both sides, half circle on each side of it, and it's about 5 inches. It's 5 inches high. The overall hole there, it protrudes to within 2 inches of each side of the box.
Okay.
And I actually, when I made this, the bottom part of that jet flare, I cut 1 inch off of it so that I could have a 1 inch taper down from the box down into the water.
Okay.
So that towards the water. Okay? And so it gives it a little more of a sharper drop where it drops in on top of your woven wire screen. If you're using a woven wire screen and you're hitting that damper, 95% of all your material is going to go down through that woven wire screen before it ever goes out from under it, which makes it settle and spread out a whole lot easier. Punch plate, a lot of material, and even small material, will slide over the top of a punch plate with the bigger rocks and go right off, and then it has to drop. If you look at most dredges, right in front of that crash box, so far out, you have an 8, 10, or 12-inch section in there. You don't have any ripples or anything in on most of them.
Right.
And that's the reason for that.
Yeah, you have the punch plate because the material falls down the punch plate and then falls off into the ripples.
Right. And all this plays an important part in how well that piece of equipment is going to function and how efficient it's going to be.
Okay.
And
well, we can take any questions if anybody wants to call in.
All lines are open. Call if you want. 419-520-7574. Anything else, Rich? Keep going. I'm enjoying this.
I'm just trying to think. We pretty much covered everything I wanted to talk about, What about, let's see, I already talked about the sluice size versus your line size, I guess. The orifices. material, hood pressure size, basic rule of thumb. Yeah, I covered most of that stuff that I wanted to.
Okay, cool.
Let me add one thing here.
Sure.
Power jets function more efficient if the back end of the power jet is in water, and I mean submerged in water, rather than being sticking out of the water. For the simple fact, you've got to have that prime there to start, and that.
All right, hold on, Ken. Hold that thought. Here's a caller for you guys. All right, caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Tim, it's Michael, the hunter from North Carolina.
Hey, how are you tonight, Michael?
Good, how you, buddy?
Doing good. You got a question for these guys?
Well, I do, I guess. I mean, it's not really pertaining to power jets or jet flares. My next project is I'm going to be, and kind of what I'm working on now is for my trauma that I'm just got through building. And my next project is going to be a dredge.
Okay.
What's everybody's opinion on what kind of matting should I go with? I am so at loss for words of what kind of matting to use.
This is the most controversial
funny you should
subject.
ask us.
Come on, guys! Y'all got dredges, and you know what works and what don't work. Help me out here.
Let me try to answer
Go
this.
ahead, Ken.
Go ahead, Ken.
Come on, Ken. Let's hear your opinion, Ken.
It's a preference as to opinion, okay? I use vortex matting. Rich uses vortex matting. Tim and a few of the other people are using gold hog matting. And it's a matter of preference as to what you like. If it works for you, use it.
Yeah,
okay.
We don't want to degrade anybody or put any products down.
That's a great
at
answer.
all, you know. So we just try to do a fine line with this is what we use. It works for us. You know, you almost have to find out what's good for you. I mean,
right.
You know, expensive wise and
the kind of gold.
It depends on where you're running, what kind of material you're running. You know, like Razor, he does a lot of sand and stuff. Well, you know, different stuff works for him than regular cobble, what we're used to. And then Ken deals with a lot of bigger rocks out in Idaho. You know, he deals with the vortex. And, of course, when we use vortex, we have expanded matter and riffles. You know, the gold hog matting, they don't use riffles or anything like that. They're just regular gold hog matting.
Right. Michael, what kind of material is North Carolina like?
What kind of material? What, Kathleen?
What kind of material are you running? Is there clay? Is there?
No, everywhere I'm going to be going that I know of. I don't know about new spots I've never been to because I don't know what to have. Everywhere that I will be going to that I know of is just pretty much the normal river stream stuff. There's really no clay in it. My thinking on what I want to do, because these are going to be full production trauma units that I'm going to be producing. This is what I'm thinking. I don't know who makes the vortex matting because I've seen it. There's something that's very, very close to it. It's called gold stop matting, and it's sold by Todd Martin from Martin Prospecting in Emmons, South Carolina, which is real close to me. I have it in my Keen High Banker, and it works phenomenal.
Okay.
I asked him. He said, obviously he sells it. He said, yeah, I'd go 48 inches of gold stop matting the whole way. He said it'll stop everything within the first 3 inches. But he sells it, so of course he's going to say it. He's going to say that. But my thinking is a 12-inch piece of the vortex, the gold stop matting, just to try it, and then an 18-inch section of gold hog, the UR mat, I think it's what it's called, and then another 18-inch section of the Talon mat, which is what I have in my flow pan that I got, and I think what I've seen so far, it does pretty good.
Right.
And then for the last section of the pan, I'm thinking about using the Gold Hog scrubber mat.
Okay.
You're going to have a heck of a lot of different action working in that box with all this matting.
This brings us back to a point. It don't make any difference whether you're using a high banker, a combo, a dredger, or what. the steeper the angle you have on that, the faster that water is going to go off.
Mm-hmm.
And if that water's moving through the box real fast, then your material does not have a chance for the heavies to settle very, very close to the incoming end of that unit. I use what I use because I catch everything pretty much with my banker combo. I catch everything within the first 2.5 foot from the header box down. Mm-hmm. My 5-inch dredge, I've gone maybe 3 foot because you added, depending on which power jet I have used, okay? But very rarely have I ever had anything go beyond 3 foot in that 6-inch dredge, that monster dredge, okay? And I move a lot of material, and I use a large volume of water to do it. And since all dredges require a balanced combination of pressure and volume of water to function and work right, so that you have a good balanced, equal amount of suction coming in. Mm-hmm. But it's a preference thing, like I said with that. My suggestion is to, I don't know whether you can find any of the older forms there, but there used to be back in the middle 90s into the about 2003, 2004, there used to be several gold prospecting forums. I had trouble finding the two that I actually posted a link to on the main page here today, because they're just a lot of the old timers that used to frequently patronize them are no longer with us. And my advice is to see if you can find some of them. Research what you want to research, and that, just research the forums and the prospecting websites, and everybody's got their own preference.
Yeah.
A lot of the people on the prospecting corner club, and mostly out of Canada, and it houses a lot of people from the States here. But they all have a different variation of this and that, this and that. Mm-hmm. A lot of them prefer the Dream Mat. A lot of them prefer Miner's Moss and Heavy Duty Expanded. I never had much luck with that. With either one of them.
Seems like it's a lot of trial and error, right, Ken? You just try it, see if you like it, how it's catching the gold for you, and the situations you're working, and the kind of gold you're recovering, and if it's
right. Well, I just hate to spend all that money on all that matting, and if it's not going to work, maybe somebody else has done that before and an experiment, and it didn't work. And now I'll be interested in somebody saying, "Hey, it didn't work." I probably wouldn't recommend it or whatever. But
Kathleen.
Oh yeah, we used to use the mats in the dredges. Then we switched to Miner's Moss, but we still use the matting in the combo high banker. Mm-hmm. It just, the matting for us in Ohio and the kind of material we have here is very clay. Like
the Gold Hog matting?
So, the matting, we used Gold Hog matting Talon.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
In the combo high banker. Now in the dredge, we're just using Miner's Moss and the, expanded metal.
And I know.
Well, I tried some Miner's Moss in my high banker, and it seemed like I was losing a lot of gold, because when I go back and go through it again and run it down my water table, there was still a lot of gold in it. Mm-hmm. So I said, no more. I'm not using any more of that Miner's Moss. I felt like I was losing a lot with it. So I want to go with something that I don't have to really worry about that.
I have found over the years and experimenting with the Miner's Moss. If you fill it up, if you pit it all the way through in a unit, and it loads up with other kind of material, rocks and this and that, plus the gold and the black sand and the light colored sand, once that loads up, you can kiss the other gold goodbye, because it'll go right off the top of it. And as far as the gold going down through the miner's moss and into a matting in the bottom, some of it makes it down there, but very little will make it down. I'm this is just my personal experience with this.
Well, I think
and
that's what might have
I'm not
happened to me.
trying to knock any product or anybody's way of doing it. Okay?
Well, Ken, I think that's what might have happened to me because I noticed the miner's moss did load up, and it seemed like, I noticed that it seemed like stuff was skipping over. I was like, well, I hope it's catching all that gold, and then come to find out, I rerun all that stuff, and it wasn't. There was still tons of gold in the black sand.
Okay. And also, they always say, if you see somebody even prospecting in the areas you prospect in, see what kind of matting they're running, see how it works for them. It just to keep you from buying it and trying it. Or ask your friends, hey, do you got any carpet laying around? I want to try a piece of carpet in my box, see how that's going to work. Same with the Vortex mat and stuff. You could just try it, see if you're going to like it before, like you said, spend a lot of money on different mats.
A lot of people on a lot of forums there, I don't think too many of them are going to volunteer donate it free, but check out a lot of your prospecting forums and talk to some of the old boys if you can, because the technology has changed so drastically here. I will say this much: when the Dream Map first come out, I wasn't a bit impressed with it. But since Dave Peterson has made some modifications and some changes to it, I tend to be more impressed with it, the way he's got it set up now for cleanup sluices and that. I have yet to try this new matting that he's come up with in a stream sluice or a high banker. But I am pretty much a whole lot more impressed with it now than what I was 8-9 months ago, give or take.
Good.
And I can give him a thumbs up, A rating for that, because he did come out and he has changed it, and it seems to be a whole lot better than what it was. The Gold Hog matting, I have nothing against the Gold Hog matting. I didn't like it, but that don't mean that it's not a good matting.
It's a personal preference thing,
It is.
Yeah.
That's what it boils down to. At the end of the day, it's what works best for you, what you're happy with.
And the thing you have to consider, this is the thing that you really have to consider, is how steep an angle you have to run that dredge or a high banker combo, and how long this unit's going to be and how wide. And if you like running a high banker and you got something that's 12 foot long, say 16 inches wide, you got to jack that thing way up in the air in order to get that material to go down, which means you got a whole lot more water going through. The material don't really have a whole lot of choice or chance
to settle down.
To settle down, and so there's a lot of variables that you have to stop and think about and consider, and go from there.
I hope this helped you a little, buddy.
It does, but the sluice that I have for the trommel is 12 inches wide, and right now it's 5 foot long. So if worse comes to worse, if I have to, I can cut some of it off because it's just aluminum pan, so that I don't have such a steep angle. But I would need, if I'm not mistaken, I would need a 5-inch drop. Is that correct?
To start out with, actually, some matting requires less drop in order for a good rapid exchange of material.
Exactly. Yep.
And actually, the flatter you can run that material, you can minimize most of your water flow going down through it, to where you're not going to wash as much material off, as much of the heavy material off.
And you just have to experiment with it, yeah.
That's the thing. trial and error can be a very expensive thing, but you know, I could tell you ways to set something up, as well as Rich could tell you the ways to set something up.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it works for you or not in your area is going to be another story.
Right.
That's the key. All right, Michael, we got another caller's been trying to call, buddy. Let us know what you decide to go with, okay?
I appreciate all the information. Didn't mean to get off the subject of power jets and jet
No,
flares.
that's fine. It's
Thanks
a good
for calling in,
conversation.
buddy.
Yes, thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
Take care, buddy. Bye,
Thank you,
Michael.
Tim.
All right,
Thanks.
you're welcome. Bye, bud. All right, hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hello, Mr. Tim. How are you doing? This is the Hookmeister.
Hey, doing good, Hook. How are you, man?
I am doing great. My Suburban, after being stolen, destroyed, and everything else is almost put back together, but everything else is going good.
Awesome.
Ready for this year. Got a lot of new things coming out for you guys and everybody.
Cool. Very cool. Now, you got a question for these guys?
Yes,
Well, go for it,
I've
buddy.
got a question and some answers.
All right, go for it.
Now, along with what he's been saying, and I agree with him in a lot of ways, but it ain't just the pitch, pump, and the pitch, the pump, velocity, the head pressure, all that comes into play with catching gold. It doesn't matter really what. I've been doing this over almost 30 years, dredging. So, depending on your area, the clarity of your water, the clay density in the area, there's many different things that come into aspect. So your pitch, velocity, pump, your horsepower, everything comes into play. And I'm sure he will agree from what I've been hearing. But not just the pitch of your pump, where you're talking about the jet flares and the crash boxes. Due to the depth of the water and the pitch that you got to run your crash box or power jet and jet flare combo, you've got to adjust your angle there and at your sluice, bottom line. And you got to experiment with it, and you got to find no matter what matting you're using or anything, you have to find that happy point for you.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does to me.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're saying, basically, yeah.
Right. Basically, yes, I'll agree with you. But it depends on how the jet flare is designed and built pertaining to what's on the commercial market. My jet flare is so far different than anything on the market.
Well, I've got one of those too, buddy. Let me tell you, I build my own stuff. I got a bender and all, the whole 9 yards. So, but I do use Keen, and I also use a couple others just for experimental reasons, and you just got to fine tune your preference. I don't know if that makes sense to everybody, but I hope it does, because I just keep hearing these questions come up, and I just think your preference is what's going to work best for you. I don't know.
Actually, let me describe what the Keen jet flare looks like. You've got about maybe, I'm going to say between 36 and 40 inch round tube that goes in. And then headed towards the flange end. And then the flange end starts flaring out a little bit.
Yeah.
Which don't give that material much chance to spread out before it hits that little short section going in. My particular jet flare, right from where it's got a 4-inch ring on it, for the power jet to fit in it. From that ring on, that starts tapering and flattening down all the way up to the box, which gives it a chance for more rapid expansion, more settling, more spread out. It's almost 99% spread out when it hits that there sluice box compared to what the Keen is. Proline, I haven't seen a good Proline for a long time, but they do make good equipment. And you have to consider the fact of how these pieces of equipment are custom built by the individual compared to what's on the manufacturer's shelf. Manufacturers have one thing in mind: build them fast, easy, and they make you big bucks off of them. And they work.
I agree with that, but then I have an argument. Like with DK and Keen, I use both jet flares. Plus, I make my own. But anyway, I custom build all my sluice boxes. I do not use anything that is
I have a couple of DKs.
Fast produced,
I have a 4-inch
mass
DK
produced.
jet flare here right now that I build a box for it. And basically, the DK is a good jet, but it starts flattening out too, right from the start. It doesn't have that long round tube going in like the Keen has. And I won't debate this anymore.
Yeah, there's just different ways for different people.
Yeah. Because it's a preference of opinion.
It is.
Nothing more nor less.
Yep, at the end of the day, that's what it boils down to, don't it?
It really does. And I've just listened to this, and I love this conversation. This is a great topic because, I mean, this is what's going to head the market all the way till the end. And hopefully there's no end. Hopefully we all keep sticking together and helping.
That's right.
Help with AMRA, fight this. And we keep moving forward, get our kids outside, and do this stuff, because I'm telling you, this is what makes it what it is, as in the dead zone area where we can't get outside, or in certain areas we can't due to the weather. So, and it keeps people fueling forward, and I'm really big on this stuff, and I'm not arguing with you in any point, because I agree with you depending on what you do and how you do it. But like I said, I custom build my boxes. My boxes, when they hook to a jet flare or to a crash box, mine are 100% adjustable. And I'm not afraid to put an angle in there to allow things to settle down more, or put I guess what I call a wall riffle. That's what I call it. It slows things down. It gives everything time to slow down. Or a drop riffle on a plate. I'm not afraid to use that stuff.
Right. Everybody has their different stuff.
The ultimate goal for these conversations is basically like what you were saying, but it's designed, or it should be designed, to help the fellow miner with some of the problems that he may come up with, or questions that he may have. And basically, that's all we try to do here, is to put our thoughts, our knowledge to it. And put it out to people.
Good answer.
And if people people take it and use it, fine. I'm happy with it. If they don't, I'm still fine with it.
All right, good answer, Ken. All right, Hook, thank you for calling in tonight, my friend. We'll carry this on some other time.
Thank you, Tim. All you guys have a good night.
You too. Thank you, sir.
You too. Thanks.
Have a good night, Hook. Bye, buddy.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
All right. Rich, anything else, sir?
Not really, I guess.
All righty. Well, Ken, we want to thank you for your time and stopping by and helping Rich tonight. We appreciate it. It was a good topic for sure.
Yeah, thanks, brother. Appreciate your help.
You betcha. You guys are welcome. Thank you, Rich, Tim, everybody for having me.
You're welcome, buddy.
Thanks, Ken.
Take care, buddy.
Later, bud. All right, very cool. On that note, let's kick to a commercial and we'll be right back.
In 1858, gold was discovered in the rivers of New Caledonia. This discovery would spark a massive gold rush. Today, the search for gold is much easier, yet still challenging with Dirt Hog Pay Dirt. At Dirt Hog, we pride ourselves on our gold and guaranteed gold amounts. Just visit dirthogpaydirt.com today and buy yourself a bag of the best pay dirt concentrates on the market. Order with confidence in Canada and North America. dirthogpaydirt.com, the best gold concentrates on the market, period. Also, be sure to check out our Honest Bonus program.
If you're interested in gold prospecting or treasure hunting as a career, hobby, passion, or just something you're interested in getting into, you have to visit goldprospectorspace.com. At goldprospectorspace.com, you'll find forums, chats, videos, blogs, sections on dry washing, metal detecting, high banking, and so much more. At goldprospectorspace.com. There's a store, classifieds, and at goldprospectorspace.com every Sunday night at 7:30 Eastern Time, tune in to Prospectors Radio, the talk show for gold prospectors and treasure hunters. GoldProspectorspace.com is a social network with thousands of members, and everything you need is at GoldProspectorspace.com. Sign up today and get connected to others who share your love of gold and gold prospecting. Let the treasure hunt begin at GoldProspectorspace.com. GoldProspectorspace.com.
Listening to Prospectors Radio, bringing you 2 hours of information and commentary on the fascinating world of gold prospecting and treasure hunting.
Ooh, all right. Welcome back, everybody. We are here. Kathleen, you getting jiggy with it over there?
Yes, I was dancing again.
I play it just for you. I know how much you like it.
Yeah, I was doing the bobblehead.
Again. Yeah, I'm glad you guys like that one. That one's cool. Man, that was a good conversation, Rich.
Yeah, it's pretty good. You know, I got some more stuff coming up here later on with different things in the next coming weeks. I've got some more ideas from different people, so keep them coming. We'll keep adding them to the list, and we'll do a different thing each week.
God, don't it always seem like, though, that when we start talking about matting, it always is such a huge discussion.
It is.
Every time.
I mean, and you got to be real careful the way you do things.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't want to downgrade any matting, trust me.
No.
I mean, and it's really hard to have a subject when somebody says, what do you use?
Right.
You know what I mean? I can tell them what I use, but I'm not downgrading any other product.
Right.
You know, because there's so many good mattings out there, and everybody uses different stuff. So, I mean...
They do. I swear, it's like every one of us uses something different than the other one does.
Yeah.
I mean, each one of us runs a complete different setup, different mats, different everything. And it's like... It works.
I think, like everybody said, you use what works for you. But at the same token, like I know we all have. I know Kathleen and I have. We use different things periodically just to see and test and compare.
And that's smart.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of sponsors on our show, and you know, we don't want to downgrade any of our sponsors also.
God, no.
But, you know, we have the subject to come up of what we prefer. I mean, that's just what we use. Right. That's not downgraded any other
No, God, no. It's just what we prefer to use for the areas we prospect in.
Correct. I just want to make that perfectly clear. Yeah. You know, we don't want to upset anybody on talking about matting.
No, God, no.
Just,
but it always,
I'll continue to change it up, just to, you know. Keep it interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try new things.
Here's a caller. I believe it's our buddy Ray, I think.
Okay.
All right. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Woody, and I'm calling from Fairbanks, Alaska.
Another Alaska. I thought it was an Alaska area code. How are you tonight, Woody?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. It's warming up. It's about 9 above right now, and doing great.
Heat wave.
That's right. That's right.
So
hey, but my question was, I'm converting a 3-stage dredge over to hog matting.
Okay.
I've talked to several people up here. And, of course, everybody's got their own idea what works, what doesn't.
Yeah.
But has anybody run, like, the first 6 inches with riffles and then went to the hog matting setup? And where I'm mostly be dredging will be, like, some old tailing piles, mainly. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, in a creek. But the old tailings, it's just all cobbles, pretty much. And it's pretty fine, like... rice size, little pieces like that, and down to 100 mesh.
Okay. Now, Kathleen, did you run riffles over yours when you had hog matting in yours?
No.
You just ran straight.
No, he's saying basically he's going to have riffles and a different matting in one section, and then the other section of the box you're going to have hog matting. Is that correct?
Correct.
Is that what you're saying?
Okay.
I've never actually seen that happen before. I've heard people that was going to try it, but I never heard any results on how they did.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Gosh.
Okay. But, hey, I got something for Kathleen. She, a couple Wednesdays, she's telling a little bit about history, about what the old miners used to do. And up here, I was reading a story that they'd roll their own cigarettes. And, of course, they'd lace it with gold, and they'd tell the person that was buying the claim to pick any dirt he wanted, and he'd pan it for him. So, of course, the old, guy from New York, wherever he was from, would buy this claim, and this old prospector would smoke a cigarette while he was panning the gold in the creek. And, of course, all that gold would fall out of his cigarette into the pan.
Oh, wow. That's a good one.
That's another good one.
Yeah. But, so I guess the moral of the story is don't let somebody pan your own gold for you, right?
Yeah, I think that what it boils down to. Dang, Woody, I wish we had the answer for you.
Miners are very resourceful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hope to have my dredge pictures up soon, too, after I dig it out of the snow. So,
okay, cool.
There you go.
It's,
cool.
Yeah,
awesome,
great.
buddy. Well, we're sorry we couldn't answer that question for you. I'm sure somebody in the chat room can, or Ray or somebody that's very fluent with the hog mats.
Yeah, I've heard about it, but I've never got any results back of people that tried it.
Sorry, Woody.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm sure somebody will answer on here, and if not, I'll just message Ray down in Juneau.
There you go. So. Awesome, brother.
Yep.
Right, thanks for calling
in. Great.
All right. Take care, Woody.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye, buddy. There's another caller for you guys.
Wow.
All right. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
You have the wrong number, sir. What can we do for you tonight?
I just wanted to call in. It was a good show.
You missed us. That's why you wanted to call in.
Yeah, that's it. I wanted to call in.
You were lonely, and you missed your buddies. That's why. Right, guys? That's what it is.
Yeah, we miss you.
Mm-hmm.
You hard at work?
No.
Been playing in the chat room, and now he's calling us.
I literally don't. I just can't believe it. The weekend being scheduled. I think just because it was a nice weekend. We don't want them guys to have it off. We got to schedule for the weekend.
Good day.
And it literally has done absolutely nothing all week, and I get 16 hours of it today.
Enjoy it. Enjoy 16 hours of nothing, right?
And getting paid for it.
And getting paid for 16 hours of nothing. When you could have been here enjoying all this fun, but you're here, you're listening, so that's cool. And you enjoying the show tonight?
Oh, yeah.
That's a good show.
I'm loving it.
Yeah. Like I was telling Rich, I always enjoy these Matt conversations that we tend to get into every so often. They're just...
Oh, yeah, that's
It's a big
man,
topic.
you know, I mean, you pretty much just use it. If it works for you, use it. Because, man, when you start talking about mats.
What do you use?
You know, huh?
What do you use?
Well, I kind of had my own, you know, thing that I ran, and I've tried a lot of mats, a lot of different stuff. But I'm pretty much going to be dream matting it in my stuff.
See? All right, see? Another one, another opinion, another thing. It's like, I know you've tried a lot of different things over the past, and hey, if something comes out, you'll try it, right?
Oh, yeah, and
see
if
if it's
something
going to
new comes out, I'll
work.
try it, absolutely.
Heck yeah, because it might be better than what you're running now.
Well, David's working on a matting
I've caught go with everything that I've tried, you know.
Right.
But I just, you know, me personally, I like to, I like the gold.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. definitely. Well, very cool, brother. You going to stick around for a minute?
Yeah.
Okay, because we got another caller, so I'm going to I might lose you. All right?
All right, well, if you do, I'll call back.
All right. Hold it. Hang on, please. All right. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Wait a minute. Oh, God dang, I got 50 million callers in here. You there, caller?
Yes. You're kind of breaking up on me.
Okay. Can you hear us now?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Robert, also known as Nugget Hunter.
How are you tonight, Robert?
Pretty good.
All right.
I figured somebody could answer this one question because somebody mentioned it to me.
Okay.
He told me I could take my 3-inch thrasher pump and neck it down at the suction nozzle head for a 2-inch dredge suction nozzle, and it should work.
Rich?
I'm not understanding the question. You have a 3-inch pump, and you want to neck it down to use for...
To a 2-inch.
To a 2-inch
you can neck the nipple
nozzle
down coming out, yeah. Is that what you're talking about?
But it's to be used with the suction dredge nozzle, and I was told I could neck it down to 1.5 to up the pressure enough to work the suction dredge nozzle at a 2-inch.
Mm-hmm.
You can. I would do it over a period of time. Like I would put maybe a 10-foot section in coming off your pump and then reduce it down. And that way you'll have ultimate pressure to your nozzle.
Right. Don't run all one
all
half.
one size to your nozzle, because then it's going to be bulky and you're going to have too much flow trying to go through an orifice.
Mm-hmm.
You want to get your pressure coming off your pump at 5 or 10 feet, you know, with that pressure at 3-inch, and then put your adapter there down to, you know, your 1.5 or your 2-inch or whatever that goes to your nozzle. That's my suggestion.
Right.
That worked for me when I had to do from a 2-inch to 1.5 inches. Instead of just running 2.5 or 2-inch off of my pump straight to my nozzle, I went 10 feet, put an adapter there, and then went from 1.5 inches the rest of the way, and that increased my pressure on my nozzle.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting to hear, but I figured I better confirm it with somebody who's done dredging before I start putting extra money into the other adapters.
Yep. Right.
There you go.
Yep, that's my suggestion, brother. I mean, I don't know if that's the correct answer. Everybody has their own different ways of doing things. I've had people actually run a 2-inch, like you have a 3-inch, but on my example, is somebody would run a 2-inch off and then have the adapter up at the nozzle. You know, they'd have 1.5 inches up the nozzle, running 2-inch into 1.5 inches at the nozzle at the adapter. But I found that I tried it that way, and I found that I had more pressure by running a 10-foot at 2-inch first and then have the adapter there to 1.5 inches up to the nozzle. I seem to have a little bit more suction that way. So that's why I suggested that.
Okay.
Okay.
So let us know.
Oh, and before I go, I got to just say one thing. Just say hello to my little buddy, Dennis.
There you go. Dennis Dayton.
There you go. He's listening to you, too.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you for your time.
Oh, thanks for calling. Have a good evening.
You too.
All right. Bye, buddy.
Bye.
Oh, Dennis, you still there? Oh, crap, lost Dennis. Well, Dennis can call back if he likes. Man, interesting. A lot of questions tonight. I like that.
Yeah, we have a lot of callers. That's excellent. That's what we want to do. We want to
like.
get those calls in here and try to answer them as best as we can.
Heck yeah.
You know, that, like, everybody needs to understand, you know, when we talk about this stuff, we are not professionals. This is just, you know, our stuff that we do. It's our personal preferences. It may not be the correct way or right way, but it's the way that we do it. We don't want to, you know. So I just want to make sure everybody clarifies that.
Exactly. So. Hey, Kathleen, why don't you get us a name ready, and we'll give away a gold pan and vial from our friends over at MakeYourOwnGoldBars.com. What do you think?
I can do that.
Sound like a winner?
Winner,
right.
chicken dinner.
Dinner. Yeah, heck yeah. Oh, and Kathleen, ain't this the month we give away our quarterly nugget to the Crony?
Yep.
Oh,
at the end of March.
Crony
you
Club
have to get a winner then.
Nugget. And I posted the new Crony Club giveaway. That's up and posted. Got that done.
And if you want to be a member of the Crony Club, just go up and click on that tab up there that says Crony Club. And you can go in there and it'll walk you through your steps of what you need to do to do it. And basically it's $20 per year, built in 12-month cycles. So if you haven't went in to see when you're due, if you go in and click the Crony Club tab and it won't let you in, that means you need to re-register.
Means it's time to renew.
Yeah, and when you renew, you can get another sticker. All you have to do is make sure you send Kathleen your address, Kathleen or Shad, and you'll get another sticker for re-upping if you are interested.
Now, I had addresses from last year, but I just don't know if they're the same.
Right,
so
it's always good.
If you've given me your address before, just give it to me again. That way I can confirm.
Just to confirm. That makes sense to me, Kathleen. And I've seen a couple of the people that got their stickers from Kathleen.
Yes.
Kathleen even includes a very nice, heartfelt note with each sticker. So that's very
excellent.
Cool.
I sit on the couch when I get home from work and do a batch.
Amazing is what it is. It's like, wow, Kathleen, way to go.
Yeah.
It's like, that's pretty special.
We couldn't do without them.
That's right, we couldn't. We wouldn't be here. That's for darn sure.
We have that winner yet?
I have a name.
All right, and the rules are like always. When Kathleen calls your name, you have 1 minute, 30 seconds to answer in the chat room on Gold Prospector Space that you are here. So, Kathleen, let's hear it.
The winner is Tony Smith.
Tony Smith.
Tony Smith.
Tony Schmidt.
Tony Smith.
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
Oh, my.
You said you were going to get new music.
Nobody liked the last
Does he
music.
know he's on there?
Nobody liked it.
Eric, no way. He's here.
Oh, he's here. Oh, hey.
He's here.
Hey, wow, cool. Interesting. Tony's here. Thank you, Tony. Congratulations. Nobody liked the other music, Dennis. So I got to find more other music, I guess. So we're back to the old standby until I find something that everybody likes.
What do you mean nobody? I like the other music.
Oh, you did? Oh, well, nobody else did.
Yeah.
Oh, I did too. I like something different. This is getting old.
I know. See, that's why I like the other one, too. But nobody else did.
I did.
Oh, you
You're
did?
thinking of a Google commercial.
Yeah, and it reminded me of a prescription commercial, but I still like
Yeah.
it.
Why don't we mix it up every week and do a different one or something?
Yeah, just do a different one.
Okay.
Get that out of your head, Tim.
Okay. I will do my best.
It's driving us nuts, too, besides him. So
I just like it because it drives Dennis nuts.
I know, but now it's driving us nuts,
All right,
too,
so it ain't as much fun if it drives you guys nuts.
Yeah.
Dang it. All right, well, Tony, Rich will send you a side chat, and he'll get all your mailing information, and we'll get that out to Steve Hamilton at Make Your
Boy,
Own
he's
Gold
fast. He's on it.
He was
He's already got it to
paying
me.
attention. That's the way to do it. Pay attention. If your name's called, bing, I'm here. Easy
Exactly.
peasy, man.
He's on it.
Easy peasy. Mac and cheesy. Great show tonight, guys. Yeah.
It was fun.
It was. What are we forgetting tonight, Shad?
Tune in for Wednesday,
Well,
as
of course,
always.
yes, Wednesday. No, I don't think there is anyone. I mean, have we had any new patrons
No
at
new
all?
patrons, no, but we want to thank our patrons for being there for us and what their
why don't
support.
we explain how to do that?
Shad?
Oh, you're going to put it on
I
me.
like when
aren't
you explain stuff. You're so good at it.
Well, okay, if you go to goldprospectorspace.com, on the right-hand side of the page, right below the Gold Hog ad right there, is Become a Patron. What you can do is click that. You will go to the patreon.com/prospectorsradio page.
Mm-hmm.
And here you can show your support of the show. There's the $5 a month donation or $10 a month.
Mm-hmm.
But what this does is it really helps the show a lot with a lot of, the expenses to have the website and a lot of other things. But it also shows you just believing in Tim's vision for what he's trying to create, a community bringing everyone together, not just in the U.S., but, of course, the world, because we got a lot of great members all over the place.
Heck yeah.
In fact, I had the next batch of Crony Club stickers. They were all international.
Really?
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. Wow. Very cool.
And we know how many stamps it takes now to send those.
Oh,
so.
really? Oh, jeez. International cronies. That's cool.
But no, like the picker group is the $5 a month. There are some little things we try to do to say thank you. You get shout-outs after the show for when you're a new patron, discounts on merchandise up to 10% off, and that's our gear, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
The Crony Club
and then,
stuff.
of course, we
hats.
feature your name on a wall of fame on prospectorsradio.com.
That's right.
Now, for the Nugget group, that's $10 a month. You get shout-outs during on air during the live show.
Mm-hmm.
We have special giveaways, which I forget who won the last one. It was that silver arrowhead.
It was John Bennett won the last one, that silver arrow thingy, which was custom engraved and stuff, with a big thank you from us at Prospector Radio. Yeah, buddy.
But, chance to be interviewed on the show, discounts of 25% off on merchandise, and as well as your name on the Wall of Fame. And, we're looking to do more things to say thank you.
Yeah.
And we can't do any of this without the support of everybody.
Right.
We would love to give away bigger equipment and more stuff.
Yeah.
Granted, our sponsors are great, but we do want to start giving back even more so to everyone.
Heck yeah.
Right. Maybe next week, if I can't be on, maybe we can have one of the Patreon sponsors on. That might be an idea.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
If you can get a hold of somebody and try to set somebody up for next week coming on a little bit. I know Kathleen will probably have a little something for everybody since I won't be here. So
Yep.
Doing a closer look.
Yep, closer look with Kathleen next Sunday. So, yeah, we'll do that. We'll get one of our premium patrons on next week. That'll be cool. We haven't done that in a while. So, yes, let's make that happen. I'll do that.
and then the following week, I'll be back and I'll have a Cooley's Corner again on something else.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. And let me think, don't forget Tuesday night hangouts with Ed, Jesse, and Dana over there on their YouTube channel at 8 o'clock Tuesday nights. I'm not sure who their guest is this week because I never know, but be sure and check them out. Tuesdays at 8, Tuesday night hangouts with Ed and Jess and Dana.
Yep.
So make sure you do that. Blah, 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 blah.
Quarterly Nugget coming up at the end of this month for the cronies. So that's going to be another nice nuggets from our sponsor of that, Dirt Hog Pay Dirt. Very cool. Some great pieces of gold. So got to be a crony to be in on that one. And let me think, what else, guys? Oh, we're working on planning the Crony Club giveaway. Not giveaway, outing. We hope to have the state narrowed down here in 2 weeks. With at least we should have the state narrowed down.
Yeah, we'll have the state.
Then
we'll work on the time. And
the time we have to do some juggling.
Yeah, because we got to see what works for all the crew. So it's like, okay, but we're working on that. Somebody else asked a question. Wait a minute. Let me see. Let me go back a second, guys. Will the GPS crew be at the Las Vegas Gold Show this year? No, we won't be there this year. Sorry, guys.
Negative.
We will not be there this year. We hope to attend some gold shows this year.
We're hoping to do different gold shows, right?
Yeah, that's what we're hoping. So, and even some of the smaller club gold shows, just
yeah.
I mean, that's so. And we will be at the Fossack here in Ohio in a couple months. We'll be there, and so we'll be some places. So we will let you guys know when we know where we're going to be, and we'll let you know.
Yep.
We'll put our tour schedule out.
That's right. Upcoming tour schedule of events or something. No. Oh, mercy. But we want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. And don't forget to tune in Wednesday for our West Coast Wednesday show with Kathleen Biffle's Dredging Up the News, and In the Goldfields with Swiftwater Tony on our Wednesday show. And Dennis, thanks for popping in, buddy. We missed you tonight. We hope you can make it Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
All right, cool.
Overtime stops after the day. So.
Awesome. Shad, we want to thank you for filling in for Dennis tonight, my friend. And Rich, thank you. Great segment tonight.
Oh, Ken, not a problem.
Ken, thanks for helping Rich out. I think that about does it for me. Guys, you got anything?
Nope.
All right, we're out of here. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Be sure to tune in next Sunday at 7:30 for another great show. For updates and more info, please go to www.prospectorsradio.com.